In this video, I'm going to be sharing some of the most insane puzzles that I've seen with you guys. So, I have collected 8 puzzles: number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, and I'm going to share them with you today. So, this is the first position. As you can see in this position, white has a rook and a knight. For black's queen, bishop, and pawn, advance pawn. It is white to play and draw. Can you guys find the winning continuation, the drawing continuation? Well, it's the brilliant move. Knight to e6 check. Now you may ask, why is this so brilliant? Well, first of all, we're forking the king and the queen. So if the king moves somewhere, let's say to g8, then we can simply take the queen and we'll be winning. But then you might ask, why can't he just take it with the bishop, right? Bishop takes e6 to prevent the fork and also getting a free piece. Well, here comes another brilliant move. Rook to f2. The point of this move is that if black takes, that's a draw by stalemate. White has no legal moves. Can't go there. You can't go there because of the queen, and you can't go there because of the pawn. So that's why in this position, black might try to play something like queen to f7, so that when you take and the king captures, they think they have a winning endgame with the bishop and the advanced pawn. But hold on, if you think the game's over for white, it's actually not. This is actually a theoretical draw. Let me show you the analysis. And why is this? This is because uh, there is a principle in chess. When you have a flank pawn, that means a rook pawn on the A or H files, like here or here, and you have an opposite color bishop. By opposite color bishop, I mean a bishop that does not control the queening square of the pawn. So, like the queening square here is A1. A1 is a dark square. So the can't light square bishop can't control that square. So that's why this game is a draw, because black can never force my king out of the corner. So for example, let's say white plays king b2. Let's say you just try to bring your king over like this. This is not gonna work, and the best you will get is a stalemate. So you can never force my king out of these two squares. And if you try to box me in, that's a draw by stalemate, right? So that's why this is the drawing continuation. Let's move on to the next puzzle. Whew, what a puzzle that was. Okay, so in this puzzle, white has an advanced pawn, a good position king, and a rook on c1, while black has an advanced pawn on e2 and a, a rook on f1 and a king which is not really doing much. And we can just ignore these pawns for now because they're not really doing anything. So, can you guys find the winning continuation for white? White to play and win. The move is stunning. Rook to e1. And the point is, you're attacking the pawn and you're threatening to promote. You're threatening to promote your pawn like that. And if black takes you, you promote to a queen with check, and now you simply win wherever black goes. So black can only go to c7 That's the only legal move. Then you play queen to c5 check, a very important move. And now your only problem is the rook and the pawn. If this rook moves with giving you a check, the pawn might promote. So we have to get rid of this e1 rook. And we can do so by using the queen. See, if the king goes anywhere to the b file, like b7 or b8, we can fork the king and the rook with a simple tactic. Can you look for it? The move is queen to b4. We attack the rook and we attack the king. So black's not gonna go to the b file. They're gonna go to d8. Fine. Can someone tell me why this move loses? Well, there are uh, a few ways you could proceed. The simplest would probably be queen a5, but in this position, we could also go queen. We could also go queen to a7, which is not a bad move. But a better and a more obvious move would probably be queen to a5 check. So the king can't go to e8 because of checkmate. So once the king runs here, now you can just simply take the rook, which is pretty good. Or you could try to look for checkmates, but you don't have to. So now this is completely winning for white, and let's move on to the next puzzle. So in this position, it's white to play. White has two pawns against three, obviously down the material, but white is winning. Can you find the winning continuation? Well, the move is g6. So the theme of this puzzle is a pawn breakthrough. So black has to take, else we would have taken and promoted. And now you don't play h takes g6. I will explain why in a few seconds. We play h6 so that the king can't catch us before we promote our pawn. And now this is completely winning for white, and I think you should handle it from here. Now, in this position, when they play h takes g6, if we play the move h takes g6, that's actually a move that just loses the game. Now, the point is that black can play king e7, we have to push the pawn, and king f7. So, black catches the pawn just in time, and now we have a problem. See, we can never take this d6 pawn because this c pawn will be running down the board. But if we just stay here, black's king is also coming to help the pawns. And this is why this endgame is losing for white. Black has two extra pawns and white cannot do anything about them, promoting. So this is why this position is a win for black. So like something like this. I mean, you don't have to give up the pawn. Something like this is okay. So let's move on to the next puzzle. So can you find the winning continuation for white in this position? Well, the move is simply rook to c8 check. Now the rook is forced to capture, and right now black is up a rook. But then we play the move queen to a7 check. What a brilliant move. Now, what's the point of this move? Well, the king is forced to recapture. I mean, if you go there, you're gonna lose a rook with check. You also can't take it back because your own queen's hanging. So you are forced to take the queen. And then taking the rook and promoting is the correct idea. Okay? Which piece do you promote to? If you promote to a queen, you're dead lost because of queen e1. So how can we prevent queen e1 check and play a move that captures the rook at the same time? Well, we can take the rook, but instead of promoting to a queen, we promote to the beautiful knight. This is a great move, and once the king moves somewhere, we can take the queen and we're simply winning. Hope you like that puzzle. Let's move on to the fifth puzzle. So in this position, it's white to move, and white is you have to find the winning continuation for white. The move is bishop to a1. Bishop to a1. Now you may ask, Kaushik, why are you just sacrificing your bishop for no reason? Well, the point is, once they take back with the king, which they're forced to, you can play the move king to c2. And you should not play the move king to c1. I will explain later. So you play king to c2, completely boxing out the black king. So black is forced to play g5, sacrificing a pawn. Then you take the pawn. Now their pawn is free to promote, so they must move it. We will move our pawn as well. But we get the queen first. And so does black. Black does get a queen. But we have a checkmate. Can you guys see it? The move is queen to g7 check. The king is again completely boxed out. So black is kind of forced to play queen to f6. And then we take the queen, and that's checkmate. That is a beautiful checkmate. And let me show you what the analysis is if after bishop a1 takes, what happens if we play the move, sorry, not king c2, if we play the move king to c1. This is a draw. Now let me explain to you why. This is because after black plays g5, we take it, they push, we push, they push, we we push, they push. Here, we could play two moves. We could play king to c2, or we could queen. If we queen, so does black. And although this looks dead lost, there's actually nothing black can do because their own king is stuck in the corner, blockading their pawn. So this position is simply a draw because black will keep on giving checks and we will just move. Check. And oopsie, I don't know why that's a blunder. We play king to b3. And in this way, they'll keep checking us, and the game will eventually end in a draw. But this is not what we want. So that's why going to this position back here, after this, we should play king to c2. So that when this pawn promotes, we don't have a check. There's no check to the king. So that means we have an extra move with our queen. Hope you understood that puzzle. Let's move on to the sixth puzzle. So this is the position. It is a mate in two from this position for white. Well, the move is simply queen takes h7 check. That's a brilliant because the king is forced to recapture, and then we have another beautiful checkmate. H takes g6. Look at that. It's a check with the rook, cutting off the king's escape square here. It's a check with the pawn. The pawn's defended by the bishop. So the king can't run there. King can't run there. King can't run there. It's just smothered. So this is checkmate. It's a double check and mate. Let's move to the next puzzle. See if you can solve this puzzle. It is also a checkmate. The answer is bishop to f8 check, and black's king, if you notice, can't go anywhere. It can't go here. It can't go here because of the check. Because of the check. And it can't go here. It can't go here either because of the bishop, and it can't go here because of its own pawn. So black's forced to block with the bishop, but we have a checkmate in two from this position. Can you find it? The answer is queen takes h5. That's another brilliant move. And once they take, rook to h6 is a beautiful checkmate again. The king can't the king can't take the rook because it's defended. Can't go here because of the rook. Can't go here because of the bishop. And you can't go there. You can't go there because of the check. This is why this is checkmate. Let's move on to the last position that I have for you guys. Okay, so this is probably the most spectacular uh, position that I've seen out of these 8 puzzles. See if you can find the winning continuation for white. It's a mate in 6. Let's check it. Yes, it is a mate in 6. After the stunning rook sacrifice. Rook to 8! That's a brilliant move. The point is that once black takes, we play rook to a1. King goes back. Okay, well, like, what do we even accomplish? I mean, the position's literally the same. Well, we have to sacrifice the other rook. This is another brilliant move. Rook to a check. And the king is forced to take. Then we play queen to a1 check. King has to go to b8. And now we have a forced mate in 2, starting with queen to a7 check, king to c8, and queen to a8 is checkmate. And by the way, all those moves were forced. So, like, these two brilliant moves were forced. There's not Black couldn't do anything else but capture the rook. So I hope you like the puzzles, and see you next video. Bye bye.